One of the most common questions people ask about building a workbench is, what's the right height for a bench? Now the truth is there really is no universal answer to that question, and that's because the distance you put between the floor and your workbench top should be custom tailored to fit both your body height and the kind of work you plan to do there. More on that later, but first let's take a look at why workbench height is so important. Obviously, any kind of manual work we do puts stress on the body. Nothing wrong with that, really, if it includes a healthy mix of moving, stretching, pulling, and pushing. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen while standing in front of a workbench, where we can easily spend hours going through the same motions over and over again. Of course, the most common hazard from this kind of repetition is lower back pain, which usually comes from working on a bench that is too low. So what's the solution? The best way to avoid back problems working at a bench is to design your bench to match your body height and the type of work you plan to do there. First, let's talk about body height. The basic rule of thumb here is that for most general types of work, like joinery and construction, try to set the top of your bench to be even with the bottom edge of your shirt cuff. This will give you a nice workable surface for most jobs you'll bring to a bench. But what about other types of work, like sanding and cutting? In these cases, I like my bench top to be somewhat lower. This lets me use the weight of my arms and shoulders to help push the tools. I've found that dropping the height just 6 inches below my cuff makes a big difference with these types of jobs. On the other hand, if I'm using a bench mostly for things like assembly and making repairs, I like my bench top to be somewhat higher. In this case, 6 inches above my shirt cuff seems to be a good number. This will keep me from having to bend over my work and just make it easier to see what I'm doing. So to recap, the ideal workbench height depends on both your body height and the type of work you plan to do there. For most general kinds of work, that means making the top even with the top of your shirt cuff. For sanding and carving, about 6 inches below your shirt cuff, and for assembly and repairs, about 6 inches above your shirt cuff. Now if you're looking for workbench plans, I have a nice ebook at my website that will take you through all the steps we've talked about here, plus show you a very easy way to build a bench for the garage or basement using simple 2x4s and plywood. This is one of the strongest and most durable bench designs I've seen, and the best part is that it doesn't require a lot of building skills or expensive tools to bring it together. Just follow the link you see below this video to check it out. Thanks for watching, be safe, and do good work.